Looks like for the first time I actually need a windscreen. There we go. Steamed tortellini. Oh, Bob Jr. got buried. Buddy, what are you doing under there? Alright. Already boiling because I cranked it up high. I don't want to get water in it. Better turn it down. Simmering is what I want. We'll keep the lid on to put some moisture in the top part of it. Alright, long enough. Yeah, it's heated. Much better. Now I'm not going to want to touch it. It's super hot. Okay. How's that look? Delicious, right? I think so. That looks much better than that crumbly crap it was before. This is hot. This is hard to hold. Just like me, man. I'm hot and hard to hold. Ow. It hurts. Why is eating so painful? People still hiking down. Probably trying to make it to their cars before dark. I'm just gonna wake up in the morning, open that other MRE, we're gonna have a good breakfast, pack up and talk a little bit going down the trail, film some stuff that we didn't really stop to film on the way up. And that will be the end of this 4-day, 3-night adventure. I don't know when the next time is I'll do another one this long. You know, to be honest, this has been fantastic. This has been very therapeutic. But usually if I spend 2 nights up here and 3 days, that's my limit. I kind of get to the point. I mean, you guys see me out in the outdoors all the time on video, but I have life outside of the forest. So what happens is I get to that 3rd day where I am now, and I just feel done. I just feel like heading home. So this is the first time I've tried to stretch it an extra day just to see how things went. And it's been pretty good. I think if it had been peaceful and quiet the whole time, and I didn't have that peace and quiet to strive for, after having such a horrible experience yesterday, it would have been almost too much. I would have had to pack up early. The reason I didn't is because I knew if I stuck in there, if I had some tenacity, I would definitely be able to find that peace and solitude I was hunting for. And now I'm the only one at this lake. There's a father-son team hiking down to their car. Makes me miss my little boys. We've been car camping this summer, but we haven't backpacked together. And maybe that'll be one of our next activities. I'm pretty done, and I'm tired. I'm so tired. So I think I'll sleep like a rock tonight. I'm not worried about sleep. Alright, let's talk bear bag. Too far down from the branch, way up high, and pretty much over the lake. Now, it's close to my camp, which is usually not what I do. It's usually supposed to be a good 100 feet from your camp. But I did some scouring, and once again I have found it really hard to find that tree that works. But that branch is up there, and that bag ain't going anywhere. Hung with my son's trusty little invention that he made for me. The cue ball wrapped in paracord. Should I ever need paracord? There it is. Anyway, so dinner's in the tree. All the food, including, if you look at the top there, that's my roll pack. that has espit cubes in it. And espit cubes smell like fish very strongly. So didn't need them on this trip, but I always have them as a backup. They make a good fire starter. They make a good source of fuel to cook over. So if I were lost up here and had to survive, I would have a way to do that. So other than that, bed is waiting for us. However, it's not really bedtime yet, you know. It is. I'm gonna guess it's 8:15. Not even close. 7:51 p.m. So it's not even close to bedtime. It feels like it when that sun disappears behind the mountain like that and everything falls into shadow. It definitely feels like bedtime, but it's not. So I'm just gonna kind of lounge around. There's a nice breeze blowing through here. It feels really good. This has been an amazing adventure, but a challenging one to say the least. It has challenged my morale at times. It has challenged my sanity at times. It's challenged my body, my mind, my spirit. And hopefully I'm leaving here wiser for the wear. It's been good. I'm not complaining. This has been a good, refreshing getaway. You know what just happened? I did it again. I forgot to stake my tent down, and the wind just filled it up and it started tipping back. So let's get the stakes out and fix that problem. Okay, that's as cleaned up as it's gonna get right now. Staked down. Things I need in there. Food high up in the air. So I'm just gonna take all this in one last time for the evening. It's been a beautiful day. It's turned out very well. Very peaceful and serene. If anything happens between now and 9 p.m. or I think of something else to ramble off about, I'll come back. Until then, I might see you in the tent. Well, it is 9:15 p.m. As usual, darker in real life than you see on the screen. There's so much darker than that. It's funny to see that in the viewfinder. It's time for bed. The moon is out. Right up there. Trail camera's going to be on this rock. And I have it aimed towards camp, but a little bit that way, so kind of like that. I've been out here for all this time just thinking about my life and doing some soul searching. Had to get the puffer coat on and beanie. It's pretty chilly right now. It's in the low 50s, I think, maybe mid, but definitely a cool breeze, making things just uncomfortable enough that I need a jacket and a beanie. This is our last night in the Uintas. Wonder if I tip it this way. Anyway, it's time to sleep. Let's get in the tent. Well, I've got the 2 batteries I need to charge on probably the last leg of charging on the power bank. It'll probably charge those and then that'll be it. for the power bank, so it's lasted me 4 days, actually 3 nights. I've only had to charge it in the evening, so 3 nights it's charged, and the solar panel is jack crap. So at least it lasted that long, and I do have actually a backup power bank, a little 14,000 milliamp one. So it doesn't matter. I've still got the battery in this camera plus 2 more that are charged, and we only have morning and then hiking back to the car to worry about. Flashlight's doing its job, lighting up the tent. I'm going to put a little more air in the air mattress. Cool air kind of has an effect on it. It's gone a little bit flat. This is our last night here. Hopefully a nice, peaceful, quiet, restful sleep. No more people on the trail. There might be early in the morning, but if I'm going to bed at 9:30, I might get up at 6 a.m. again. So whatever, as long as I get a decent night's sleep. And I know I look kind of creepy, but that's how these tent shots are. Here, can you see me now? That was a bad idea. I'm tired. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay. My friends, thank you for joining me on this amazing trip. We'll wrap things up in the morning. And now it's time to sleep. I really appreciate you being here. See you first thing in the morning. Good night. It is just after 6 a.m. and I slept okay. I've had really bizarre dreams while I've been up here. Some about past parts of my life, and some just people I don't even recognize in my dreams. Very bizarre. But I feel refreshed. I feel pretty good right now. If not for those dreams, I would have slept much more peacefully. But it is what it is. The sun has not yet come up over there, but as you can see, it is hitting Mount Watson, so it came up somewhere. As soon as I shake off a few more cobwebs and I stretch a bit more, I'm a little stiff. I think I didn't move enough during the night. Then we'll tear into breakfast. Like I said yesterday, I don't want to really waste much time. I just want to eat and pack up and go. Not quickly, not in a huge hurry. It's just, I just don't want to linger too much longer, I guess. What a beautiful morning. The only sound I heard all night were the fish jumping once in a while. If I happened to be awake while they did. Didn't hear anything else. Nothing large walking through the water or anything like that, which, I don't know. I kind of psyched myself out last night. I was talking about my moose story when I was laying in the tent. I told that story yesterday and I kept thinking about it. So I was genuinely like terrified that was going to happen again. I don't know. When you have an experience like that, the large animal just outside your tent stomping its feet, huffing at you and angry that you're there, it can be it can have some lasting effects on your psyche when you crawl into a tent all by yourself in the middle of nowhere and try to go to sleep, especially when you're the only person here, and I still am. It being Sunday morning, a lot of people are going to come up here for day hikes. Before long, we'll have noise on the trail again and the parade of people. That's really the main reason I want to leave. As soon as I have breakfast, I want to pack up and go. It's not this place at all. Just that I know it's not going to be easy to film here with all those people. It wasn't easy yesterday. I had to wait for those gaps in between. There will also be, now that I think about it, a ton of people backpacked up to Clyde Lake. And a lot of them are going to backpack out today too. It's nuts. I've never experienced this much of a crowd on any trail anywhere. So as much as beautiful as this place is, it's incredible. If you're gonna come up here, I highly recommend coming up on like a Monday through Thursday and the middle of the week. You won't be dealing with nearly as much as I have been Thursday through Sunday. I don't know, I usually reward myself with some kind of food when I get home. I think in my last outing it was super nachos from a Mexican restaurant near my house. Also call them turbo nachos if they don't hit you right. But I think this time just a home cooked meal, just being at home. It's been several days of dealing with so many issues with people up here of all places. This sounds strange. I'm looking forward to going home to my house where that doesn't happen. If I am dealing with people there, it's people I love and care about who are my family. And I know them well, not kids throwing rocks at my house, so to speak. I'll never forget that experience. And I'm going to do everything in my power never to relive it either. Or also, whatever. I'm not awake. Okay. Breakfast. Menu 17, pork sausage patty, maple flavored. That sounds breakfasty to me. Last time I had an MRE that was breakfast oriented, it was hash browns, and it also came with blueberry granola that you put water in and it turned into kind of a cereal. So hopefully this is that kind of breakfast type MRE. I don't know why you would want maple flavored sausage for dinner. I mean, I have breakfast for dinner too, but I just mean this sounds like it was made for breakfast. So let's see what's in it. Our main entree, it says it only has 240 calories. That's not very much. Pretty low. All right. Here we go. Oh, good Lord. Once again, we have crackers. Crackers coming out of my ears. Accessory kit with the usual stuff in it. There's our heating element, and you know what? I'm not even gonna waste my time on that. I'm just gonna cook the main entree in the pot. Okay, we have peanut butter. That's good. That's what the crackers are there for, but it's not cheese. Oh, look at that. It actually comes with syrup. So I thought the patty itself had maple flavoring in it. Maybe it does, but you can also pour syrup over it. This makes me happy. I'm pretty thirsty this morning. This is more, is that focusing? Come on, dude. There we go. More Gatorade powder, but at this time it's lemon lime. Maple muffin. Hey, check that out. So I think what some people do with these probably is take this muffin, put it with the patty, cover it with syrup, and eat it like pancakes and sausage. Then we got some dry roasted peanuts. That's different. It's usually almonds. Is it focusing? There we go. And this is the patty. You can see it, the outline of it. So that's breakfast, and it's not too heavy, so that's just right for me. I didn't want a big heavy breakfast. So let's get started. I'm not going to waste time with the stupid heating element. In fact, I may be done with those as well. They may go the way of the beverage bag. I may never use those again. All we'll do is, you can't fold it this way, so we'll just kind of tuck it down in like that. And we're gonna not waste any time and have some of this Gatorade powder. 8 ounces about halfway, 12 is about 2/3, so right there. Let's start with that. And I think what we'll do is put the syrup in the pouch with the sausage, and if I can get that muffin to fit, I will cram it in there and kind of mix it up. That sounds actually pretty good. Should I blow on it? I'm so used to that. It looks murky, but it tastes wonderful. That's refreshing. It's got kind of a strange aftertaste. But there's sugar in this too, which is good. It'll give me some energy to wake me up. I almost never get up this early, especially on a weekend, you know. During the week, I work graveyards at the hospital, and I go to bed about 8 in the morning and sleep until 1 in the afternoon. And then I'm busy with my kids all day, and then I go to bed again when they leave in the evening. I try to take another nap before work. That's my typical sleep pattern through the week. It's not very good, but at least I'm there for my kids. And then the weekend comes and I I either have them over and we do things together, or if it's their weekend at their mom's, like this weekend is, I do this. And the weekends that they're over, I tend to catch up on a lot of sleep. The weekends that they're not, I tend to do this and wake up at 6 in the morning when the sun comes up. There's something about the light hitting the tent that makes an amazing alarm clock without making any noise. So it's nice to be up before all the hikers and all the noise and traffic of people coming through here. It's very peaceful, serene. This is what I come up here for. Next time, in the next outing where we're going, I think it's going to be very, very peaceful. The place I'm thinking of is a lot more conducive to my needs as far as getting away from it all and having a nice, quiet experience. Let's turn our sausage over. It looks like it's steaming at the moment. Yeah, we have a good boil. I'll just do this. Get it heated from both ends. You know, I probably don't need to sit and boil it like that. I can probably just let it soak in that super hot water, and that'll probably do it. So we'll let that sit for a minute. Well, let's open this maple muffin. It's maple muffin top. Top of the muffin to you. Any Seinfeld fans out there? So that's what it looks like. There you go. It looks like a pancake, doesn't it? It's obviously like a muffin top too, but we're going to break up the muffin into the pot. Oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. Then, that's nice and warm. Here's our patty. That's what it looks like. Sausage patty. I'm going to crumble this in with the muffin. First I'll taste it. Yeah, that kind of tastes like Alpo. I don't know why I know what Alpo dog food tastes like, but that's not really good by itself. I think with the muffin and the syrup will be good. Alright, is this actual syrup? No. It's corn syrup. Flavored like maple syrup. There we go. So we'll mix all that up. Get that syrup good and stirred in there. Gourmet cooking with Utah Steve. Breakfast goulash. As you can see on my face, the sun has arrived. Especially if I sit forward like that. Here's what we're looking at. May not look like much, but I'm kind of looking forward to this. Want some? Here we go. It's okay. It's not my dream come true, but the syrup definitely helps. Big time. One of the worst MREs I've ever eaten. Sometimes if they're really good MREs, I don't remember eating it until I've eaten it, until I eat it again. I'm like, oh yeah, I've had this. This is good. Like the Asian beef strips the other night. Once I bit into them, I was like, oh, I've had these. But sometimes if you have a bad one and you tear into it, you never forget that. And the worst one I ever had was up in the Maples in Utah, outside Ogden, where I used to go. But I was up there and I had an MRE that was some kind of, it was a beef patty shaped just like this sausage. But it wasn't, I don't know how to describe It was super dry and crumbly, even though I heated it. It had the nastiest flavor. It tasted like dog food. I ended up burying it in the ground. I didn't even throw it in the woods. I dug a hole and buried it like a dead animal, because that's pretty much all I was eating, was an unflavored dead animal. It was disgusting. It was so gross. I couldn't finish it. I don't remember what else was in the MRE, but I remember being disappointed in general with the whole thing. And I haven't seen that MRE since, so I think it probably wasn't popular and they discontinued it. I hope. I wouldn't get excited about this if I had it again, but I wouldn't not eat it either. It's pretty good. It's not awesome, but it's good. This is the way I would eat it. Unless you like Alpo. All done. Alright. I have made a huge mess over there with breakfast. I'm going to clean it up. There was nothing else really in the MRE I wanted for breakfast. I didn't want a big breakfast. I'm not a huge breakfast guy. I have to wake up starving to want a big breakfast. My favorite breakfast is just good old-fashioned bacon and eggs. I don't know, overall, I'm quite pleased with all of these MREs that I brought up. I'm pretty happy with them. I haven't been hugely disappointed by any of them. The biggest disappointment has been the heating elements. None of them have worked, and I didn't even bother finding out if this one would, because I'm just done. I'm tired of trying to heat it, spending a half hour, being hungry, waiting for that meal to heat up in the heating packet, and finding out all it did was heat the outside of the container and not the actual food. And then I have to boil some water anyway. So from now on, that's just how I do it. I put water in a cup and I boil the bag in the cup. I'm not going to waste my time like that anymore. Having said that, I'm going to clean up breakfast and then we'll come back. These gray jays like to show up right as I'm cleaning up camp. They seem to know. Very smart birds and very unafraid of people. I had to look up what they were once because every time I came up here, there they were. Sometimes several of them, just as I'm cleaning up camp. It's bizarre. They're nowhere around at all. And then as soon as I start cleaning up camp, here they come. They're beautiful birds. And I threw some crackers out because God knows I got plenty of those. But these are beautiful birds. I love them. And they're very social. They'll come right up to you and stare at you like, "Where's my food, boy?" Beautiful. They're scavengers for sure. And they're taking a liking to the MRE crackers way more than the chipmunks ever did. Didn't want to disappoint him. I'm almost cleaned up, but I dug into my food bag anyway and put some more crackers down. I guess I might as well just unload this package there because the chipmunks will eat them too. And there's no one here right now, and I doubt anyone's going to camp here tonight, being a Sunday into a Monday. It's possible. Typically, people have to work Monday. So there it is. The whole thing is empty. We'll just let them feast while I clean up. Well, let's take one last look at Watson Lake. Still very peaceful and quiet for the time being. lest we forget yesterday and all of the people that use this trail. Let's enjoy the silence for a minute. No more camp. Tent, gone. Hammock, gone. Cooking area, cleaned up. I have 2 full, and I mean stuffed full, gallon Ziploc bags of garbage. And it's not just my trash with the MREs and whatnot, but there was a lot of garbage around here as well, and also at the other sites. I picked up some as I made my way down this way throughout this 4-day journey. Mr. Bob Jr. is ready to say goodbye. He's been standing here waiting to play with the Gray Jays, but they didn't want to play anymore. So, we are going to start hiking, right? Right. Get in my pocket. We won't say goodbye just yet. We're going to do some sightseeing on the way back to the car, and then we'll say goodbye. But for now, goodbye Watson Lake, Watson Peak. Maybe there will be a next time, maybe there won't. Not my favorite adventure ever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching my suffering. In the end, all we can do is laugh, right? So we are on the road. We are leaving the island. This is like that moment in Castaway when he finally makes it off the island with his little homemade raft slash sailboat. He looks back one last time. Almost sad to see it go because it's been his home for 4 years. And in my case, 4 days. Well, 2 days here. 4 days up here. And I have no doubt that the hikers are coming. They'll be both coming and going. So we will cross our rickety bridge as we have many times before. And bid you, Watson Lake, a fond farewell. This lake has treated us well for the most part, as did Wall Lake. But Clyde Lake, nothing personal, but you can bite me. That was a horrible experience. And I saw so many people hiking up there yesterday. I don't envy any of them. I don't know why you would go to all the trouble of coming up here just to be surrounded by people. It's like the people on the main highway coming through the Uintas. They camp right off the highway. Oh, there's a spot. Why is that camping with traffic whizzing by? I don't get it. I don't understand. I never will. You can't convince me that that makes sense. Try backpacking if you can. It's possible to get away from the people. Sometimes, as we've learned in this outing, it's not possible. Not at all. I love the way the sun hits those wildflowers. It's incredible. I'm excited to be up and going again. I talk a lot about the comforts of life waiting for me. Pretty much the moment I step in my car, I can charge my phone, listen to some music, stop and get a drink, enjoy the drive home. Very scenic drive, by the way. But it does always make me a little bit sad to walk away from this. Even the most difficult adventures, I have a soft spot for. That's how it goes, I guess. And there are our first hikers of the day, hoofing it in towards Clyde Lake. A group of about 5-6 people just passed me. They all smelled like cigarettes. She tasted like cigarettes, Lieutenant Dan. Let's smoke a good cigarette before we go hiking. People kill me. And themselves. There's the hill I didn't want to go down yesterday because I didn't want to come back up it. The good news is we don't have to go back up. In fact, most of this journey will be downhill. See the path down there leads off into those trees. Next stop should be Linear Lake. So this is where I think people don't realize that this actually has a name. It's not a pond, it's a lake. We stopped briefly at this after our Wall Lake camp on this outing. On the second day, this is Linear Lake. We're going to give it a full walk around. Give it the Utah Steve treatment. Let it be recognized for what it is. Some people have been through here. There is somewhat of a pathway. And it would be really nice to camp here. It doesn't look like it's been used for that ever, though. I don't see any fire pits. That's a lake. Compare that to where we just were. Watson Lake is literally right up at the top of that ridge. It's crystal clear. Look at that. That is beautiful. Looks like this is our only crossing, which doesn't make me happy with a pack on my back. Keeping my balance and all. Speaking of that, you can see me there in the water. My pack is much lighter without 4 MREs and all the other food I ate. And I'm down to huge bags of garbage which don't weigh much, which is why it's ridiculous that people don't carry it out. And pretty much my snack bag and some ramen. So it's pretty, my pack is super lightweight. Look at that beautiful water. I don't want to go in that. I'm not going to. I'm not going to risk it because this pack on, you know, all this weight on my back, there's a good chance of going right in. If it was the only way, I would do it. But I can cross at some rocks right up here. I can see them. So we get a good look at the tail end of Linear Lake and see where it flows in. Is that what classifies it as a lake? It has an inlet. It comes from up through that green lush area right in there. Looks like it comes down from Watson Lake and trickles into here. Beautiful. All right. Look, I don't even have to really cross. I don't even have to really cross the the stream. I just have to walk on these rocks. Why balance across a log and risk going in the drink when I can just walk around it? All right. Let's see. That way doesn't look any fun. This doesn't either, but it looks easier. Oh boy. Let's see. There we go. I wonder if we're the only ones to ever video this. Linear Lake. Don't believe me? Look on Google Earth or Google Maps. Zoom in on Linear Lake in the high Uintas wilderness. This is a lake, I promise. I think I'm trying to convince myself that this is a lake. Not so much you. I've seen ponds bigger than this up here that don't have names. And it doesn't look like anyone has ever camped here. Not recently. See, now there's a pond right over here. This doesn't have a name. It's just pond. There's a little robin scavenging on the shore. There's that altitude again, walking on flat ground. There are probably salamanders and frogs in here. And it is pretty. All that looks like green muck, it's actually just this grass. It's actually quite clean water. Not clean parasites, but from here that looks like slimy moss, but it's not. It's just grass. This is probably a popular stop for mooses and deer and whatnot. I might mention that the whole time I was at Watson Lake, only this morning did I see a hoof print. I didn't see any really there. And I think it's all the foot traffic. Keeps the animals away. Anyway, guys, that is Linear Lake. Gee, I wonder why they call it that. Looks like we are above Petite Lake right there. Some cliffs up here. Our trail is down in there. So we need to backtrack a little bit. Linear is right there. Backtrack to the lake and then cut across. But it was worth the view. Back on the rocky trail. Lots of footprints. And we're back where we got sidetracked. This is where I missed the sign to turn off. If you come up here, that's what that means. It means, as you're coming up here, don't keep going that way even though it looks like a trail. Somebody knocked this down. Also probably not aware of what it was here for. I don't know. Not a very good setup, but hey, it's noticeable. And there's the cairn. Instead of turning, saving myself a whole lot of time and effort, I went that way and we camped at Wall Lake, which was okay. It's actually one of the better campouts of the trip. Down to Petite. Petite Lake. I explored this 4 years ago when I was at Cliff Lake. I hiked up here, checked this out. It's quite beautiful and peaceful. I think when I was up here last time, I remember seeing deer run off. There were a lot of hoof prints around here. This looks more like a lake. Bigger. It's not huge, thus the name Petite. I'd say Linear was even more petiter than this is. More petiter. More petiter. Another Utah Steve Ward invention. Anyway, it's quite beautiful. No fish, not a ripple in the water, nothing planted here. Our trail goes up this way, and right up there are the cliffs that overlook Cliff Lake, and the view is spectacular. It really is amazing. Normally I don't film my trips back, my hike out, because I've already filmed it coming in, but this one's worth it. Hey, little guy. I just saw a salamander come up, get some air, and dive back down. There's life in here. You're just going to be disappointed if you think you're having fish for dinner. You'll be having salamander steak instead. And I can see him. I don't know how well I can zoom in here. Anyway, he's right there. He's settled on the bottom right there. He's kind of moving now. See him wiggling around? Finally got me some salamander on film. I wonder if he'll come up for air again. He's busy digging. Probably scavenging for food. Or maybe they bury themselves in mud. I have no idea. Fascinating creatures. I don't know how long they stay down there before they need air. So I'm not going to stand here and wait until he comes up. They could stay down for several minutes at a time. I have no idea. Very peaceful here. This would be a beautiful place to camp. The original plan was Clyde Lake first night, Watson Lake the second night, Petite Lake the third night. And I would have had to just do a makeshift camp. No fire pit. I wouldn't do that. But probably I would have camped way over there away from everybody. I can already see people coming in right over here. But I would have been hidden away over there and it would have been quiet. If I hadn't gotten sidetracked to Wall Lake. Either way, Clyde Lake probably would have been miserable because those kids were up there from Thursday until Saturday. So if I had started at Clyde Lake on Thursday, still would have dealt with the rock throwing little brats. But this is really why I came up here. Right up through here is our view, my friend. Now I can go up on those cliffs for an even better view. I think I will content myself with this one because I really just want to keep hiking, and that means going up and over there to there. Here's our trail down there. We gotta cut down through this. Look at that. So down at that far end is where we came into Cliff Lake. We'll be going out that way too, hiking around this way and heading out. And then the trail just goes back to the car, not very far down. Thank you for joining me, guys, on another epic adventure. It's been an interesting one. 4 days, 3 nights in the Uinta Mountains, solo. Do yourselves a favor. Get off the couch, get outside, have some fun in nature. The views, my friend, the views are spectacular. And if you can't get outside, come along with me. I could use the company. We will see you in the next adventure.